Welcome to Just Yoga, yoga as I, Rie, would teach it in a regular yoga class or fitness center. And this video is recorded in my week of gratitude. So gratitude will be the theme or the intention for this class. Welcome down on your mat. I hope you feel comfortable in your yoga pants and your yoga clothes. You can let your fingers or hands rest on your knees or thighs. We're just going to breathe here for a little bit before we start moving. So close your eyes. Lengthen through your whole spine, the crown of your head. Shoulders relaxed and face relaxed as well. And I invite you to think of people that you think have gratitude towards you being alive. People who are happy, are grateful that you live and that you know them. Who are they? Think of their faces, their name. And as you think or hope that they are feeling happy thoughts about you, you might start to feel happy about knowing them as well. Feel grateful that you have those deep relationships, either family or friends or whoever. And hopefully with a flavor of gratitude in your mind, you can do some free movements on the mat. It's a really good idea to move your spine with the free movements. Our spine is very important to our body to keep us healthy, keep us upright. So make sure that you show some gratitude towards your spine. And there's really no right or wrong posture here. It's all about doing what is feeling great for your body and your spine. And to warm up even more, I'm going to take you through a very weird, I think, Vinyasa Flow. It's not the one that I'm usually doing, but it's great with some new stuff sometimes. So find down dog, paddle your feet. We're not doing that vinyasa yet. We just still have to warm up just a little bit. Move forward and back, maybe a little bit into your plank. And back. Bend one knee as you stretch the calves of the other leg, and then opposite side. All right. Now we're ready to do this kind of weird Vinyasa flow. Move to your plank, that one we know. And then come down on your knees. Take your hip back and then do your cow pose here. So really sink your belly down and look, my shoulder and hands are not aligned. And then I'm gonna glide my chest through here down towards the mat and into a baby cobra. So it looks something like this. Sinking down, like almost like praying down, and then move to the front with the tailbone, lift a little bit until I get down on the mat, and then lift up in baby cobra, using the back muscles there, externally rotating your shoulders a little bit. Use the hand, the force of the arms as I lift myself up, hip back behind the knees, and from there lift up into down dog. With our breath, it will be inhale plank. Long exhale, knees down, hip back, move to the front of the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, hip back behind your knees until you lift up to down dog. Adjust your stance and take a breath. 2 more times through so we get to know it. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down, hip back, glide in between your hands. Inhale, cobra. Make sure you don't use your hands. Exhale, move up, back, down dog. Quite important to take some deep breaths here to make this happen. 1 more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knee down, take it slow. Glide in between. Cobra, lift up. Exhale, hip back. Awesome. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Look to the front. Lift the heels off, bend the knees. Maybe you jump, like a subtle jump. Sole of the foot on the mat. Spread out your toes as you lean forward. Still warming up a little bit. Take a hold of your elbows and sway from side to side slowly. The Ujjayi breath is really cool to use here. That's that just snoring exhale and a calm inhale. Using your nose if you can. All right, let go of your hands. Mountain pose. Rise up. We need a little bit of side bend before we're all done with our warming up. So right hand, reach it up. Left hand, take it behind you and then lean to your left side. Moving your hip a little bit more to your right. Lifting up, using your core as you do the same thing just on the other side. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to the side. Now this shoulder that's down, now your right shoulder down. Try to really move it down so that your hand can reach back. 1 more time to each side. All right, standing tall. Let your feet meet. Maybe have a little bit of distance in between your heels if that works best for you. Your knees comes also somewhat together as you sink down into your chair pose. Make sure your hip is quite a lot back, and we'll stay here a little bit. Breathe. Firing up the front of the thigh, the back. One more cycle of breath. Hands in prayer pose. And then a twist. Right elbow to the outer edge of your left thigh. Twisting. Sink lower if you can in your thighs. And move your thumbs almost to your chest. Lift this top shoulder up and back. Maybe you take your hand and use that hand to adjust. Keep breathing. And let go. High mountain, palms still together. As you lift up towards the sky, lean back. It may be a little bit hard to go for a back bend here with your feet together. And navel in as you rise up. Either airplane or warrior 3. Now take your shoulders up and back and down so that you relax the top here, part of your shoulder. Right leg lifts up, bend the knee just to get a little bit of feel for the balance. And then slowly move it back, warrior 3. Taking your time, gaze on the ground, closing up the hip. And when you kind of feel like you're there, stay for a few breaths. Hip is closed and toes pointing directly down, stretching and breathing. One more breath. And lower down this back foot. Open up in warrior two. Maybe you soften a little bit. Always great to have those in-between movements also to feel good in our bodies. It can be a great thing to take the back hand, put on the shoulder, and kind of move the shoulder back a little bit. Not like really back, but align it with the hip and the back heel, if it's not already. And as this is power yoga, go low in this front thigh. Beautiful. Windmill, hands down the inside of this foot. Turn it around the front foot there so that you'll be standing in a wide-legged forward fold. Don't have to go really wide. We're not going to stay here for that long. And lift your head up a little bit, and maybe you walk your feet or kind of move your feet a little bit closer towards each other. Now the heels are in and the toes are pointing out as we'll be seated here in this kind of wide squats. Engage your root lock, navel in, take up your pants, and then adjust your shoulders back. Firing up in our legs, and try to move a little bit from side to side just to play with the burning sensation in the thighs. Press the palms together. Go a little bit lower. Yeah. A little bit lower. And relax. Walk your hands to the top of the mat, step back, down dog. Now, doesn't down dog feel good right now? I'll invite you to take 2 of those vinyasas I introduced at the beginning. If this is really not working for you, just do your regular vinyasa. But go with me if you can. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees on the ground, hip back. As you move to the front, exhale deeply. Using your shoulders, your back in Cobra. And down dog. Move back and up. One breath in down dog. One more time through. Inhale, plank. Exhaling, knees down. Gliding through. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Jump or walk to the front. Maybe using a little bit of a handstand if you like here, just to see how that goes. Fold forward, feet can meet again, knees meet. Chair pose. Now try again to move a little bit to the front of the foot, to the back of the foot, just to get some feel of where you're actually standing here. Pelvis tucked underneath yourself, which means you have to involve your core a little bit to be able to actually just stay here. Now notice the distance or the place of your hip, and let your hip kind of stay there as we twist. So hands into prayer pose, left elbow right outer edge of your thigh. Now the hip really want to go that way in our twist. So if you stay and you move your top, this is where the magical twist happens. Which also means that your knees are somewhat aligned. Notice shoulders back. Subtle engagement behind your shoulder blades. One more breath. Stay low. To the center, rise up, maybe side out. As you lean back, open up your chest. Look to the top. Maybe picturing the blue sky up there. Straighten your spine again. Shoulders down. Warrior 3. This time left leg. Move it up. Bend your knee. Focus your gaze. Core involved. Spread out your toes as you slowly move your leg back. Keep breathing. And don't be afraid of falling. The more you think you get into the pose, the more small adjustments you can make so that your whole body, or the most of it at least, is in a horizontal line. One more breath. And see if you can, with control, can lower down the back foot to the back of the mat. Warrior 2, as we did before, you can take your time to get into the pose and get some distance in between the feet. Heels aligned, arms reaching out. Now it's pretty important when we do yoga that we actually don't lift our shoulders. We use our arms a lot here, up above the head or out to the side. So it's pretty important that we get those shoulders down to get the proper strength in our shoulders. Going deeper. Maybe feeling the stretch on the inner thigh and the back leg. Let go. Fingers down, and again the front foot, turn it around into wide-legged forward fold. Maybe you want to get a little bit more distance in between your feet. Welcome to do that. Maybe take the forehead on the ground. If you feel safe in moving into a headstand here, play with that. Maybe a clown pose will do the trick for you. So bend your knees. And see if you can get your knees up on your elbow. If you do, I think it's called tripod headstand. If you're playing with headstand and really enjoying it and feel grateful for that, stay with that. If you're kind of done, lift your head up and again, walking your feet a little bit closer towards each other. As we did before, toes pointing out. And heels in. This time sink down here. Let your pinky finger reach out towards your kneecap. Engage your glutes. So you tuck again your pelvis in. Staying here. Swaying from side to side. And you can do it like you lift or stretch kind of one leg, move to the other. So you're kind of doing like a swing situation, going from one side to the other. And we're going to play a little bit more with our balance when we're done with the sling here. All right, the sling is slowing down. Now again, feet a little bit more aligned with the short end of the mat. Maybe stretch up for a little bit. Right arm up towards the sky, lean to your left for a little bit of a side stretch. This is not the balance pose, but it will come. Navel, root lock, pelvic floor engage as you lift up and stretch to the other side.
Again, rise up. Okay, here we go. So you're going to sit down a little bit in your squat. Take your hands out to the side like wings, and then see if you can lift the heel off. So you're standing like you have high heels on and trying to keep your balance, and just play with it. I hope this class with gratitude as a theme will make you feel happy for the ability to play and have some fun with somewhat shaking legs. Awesome. Hands down on the mat. Walk your hands to the top end of the mat where you normally are. Step back, down dog. If you need a little bit of a break in child's pose, do that. If not, stay in downward facing dog. It will just be a few breaths here. Downward facing dog. Just a few more postures and then we're done. Walk your hands back towards your feet at the back end of the mat and rise up. Shoulders up and back and down. We're going to do tree pose. It's not that often that we do it, so we can do a little bit of different variations. But your right leg out to the side, the knee pointing out. Either stay here, feet a little bit up towards the leg there, or take it all the way up, really pulling in this heel towards the inner thigh and make this thigh move towards the heel so that you have a straight line from the foot there and up towards this left shoulder, and rise your arms up if possible. Stay with a steady breath. See if you can pull the sole of the foot and the inner thigh more firmly together to engage the legs more. And maybe that helps on your balance as well. Letting go. Now release the right leg and step it just a little bit to the top of the mat or the middle part of the mat. And again, tree pose on this side. Slowly take a stand, hip in, foot up and heel in wherever you want to put it in. Make sure this knee is directly out to the side so that your hip is open. Now you're moving your inner thigh towards the heel, either prayer pose or hands out to the side, maybe up, like a tree blossoming. Notice if you can stand taller. If you can breathe more deeply. Breathing in gratitude for life, for the trees and nature. And let go. Again, this left leg steps a bit to the top of the mat. Pyramid pose. Squaring off the feet with the long end of the mat and the hip with the short end of the mat. Now move your right arm to the front and left arm back. Navel in, and then slowly lean forward. Now if you want to go all the way down, so these fingers reach down on the inside of the foot or actually on the outside, go for that. This is pyramid pose with a twist. Energetically move your inner thighs together without really moving your feet. And lifting the top shoulder just a little bit more up and back. And release. Align the 2 feet and relax. And if you're at the top end of the mat, you can step your left leg back. Or step it, just make sure you get the other side. Again, squaring off things that need to be squared off. This time, left arm to the front and right arm back. Core engaged, leaning forward, staying here, or going further down inside of the foot or the outer edge of the foot. Lots of balance here, so make sure you look down if you really feel the balance part. Again, the top shoulder moving back. Deep breaths. Just one more breath. You can do it. Excellent. Hands down, sit on the mat. Let your feet move out to the side. Sitting bones on the mat, and you can adjust yourself if you like. Lean forward with your chest leading, because that will give you the deepest stretch. So don't round your back. Try to go for a straight spine, somewhat, as you lean forward. You might feel this in your inner thighs, your groins, your lower back. Relax your thighs, relax all the places that are stretching right now. Inhale gratitude. Also for the everyday things that you have. Things like food. Like a hopefully comfortable bed, TV, Netflix or whatever. And let go. Gather your feet and move your back. Plow pose will be the next one. If you don't know it or you have any back pain, please do your plow pose like this and just sit here and feel great about yourself doing this. So plow pose looks actually like this. We're just having the weight of our body on our shoulders. So take a look if you don't know it, and then I'll tell you when you can do it. Don't do it before you have seen it, because I don't want you to move your neck. So plow pose, lifting up the hip, try to align hip and shoulder somewhat. Maybe you bend your knees and just stay here. Or maybe you stretch your legs and maybe your feet actually reach the floor. Hands can stay on the shoulder or the back or on the ground. Now if you've seen this, you are welcome to join. If you know this pose, make sure you close your eyes. Don't move your neck. Breathe deeply. Relax your neck. Still with your eyes closed. Take your hands up on your lower back, bend your knees, and slowly vertebrae by vertebrae coming down with your spine on the mat. Feet on the mat, mat with distance, and let your knees fall in towards each other and relax. Get some distance in between your knees again. And then windshield them from side to side, slowly. And you can even take your feet further away from your hip. I actually enjoy that. So it's not too narrow distance between the hip and the feet. And my lower back always adjusts itself a little bit here, cracking and stuff, but it always feels really great when it happens. And then hug your knees in. And then I'll invite you to stay in resting pose for one famous minute. And you're welcome as a kind of meditation to let your thoughts go to things that you're grateful for. So I've made this week as a week of gratitude because it's been a year since I really went all in on the YouTube channel, and lots of things had happened, a lot of experiences, a lot of great memories, and a lot of gratitude towards you using these videos and sharing them with your friends. So I want to say thank you for that. All right, resting on the mat for 1 minute, and I keep my promise, so I'll put my timer here for 1 minute. So make sure you rest, feet out, hands on the floor, palms facing up. Close your eyes. 1 minute has begun. Relax your face and body. One minute is up, and of course, if you really just got comfortable, please stay down here on the mat. But if you're ready, stretch your arms above your head like you're waking up in the morning. Sole of the feet on the mat. And roll on to one side and come into seated pose. So thank you so much. I hope you felt the theme of gratitude, and I hope that it will stay with you the rest of the week. So thank you so much for your support, also by sharing this channel and these videos. Have an awesome day.